Hi. Welcome to our video tutorial. This is a continual of our previous video. We were talking about functions and we have already defined 4 functions. So in this video, we'll see how to use those defined functions. So in Visual Studio, let's open our recent project. So function training project. And these are the 4 functions we have defined for a simple calculator application. Now, in our main function, all we have to do is orchestration. Okay? First, we have to know which function to call. Which means, am I going to call addition, subtraction, division, or multiplication? So, for that, we have to ask the user what she wants to use or which operation she likes to use. So we have to provide an option console.writeLine enter 1 for addition. Now let's copy paste that. 2, 3, 4 subtraction, multiplication, division. So these are the provided options. Now whenever she enters her choice, we have to accept or we have to read that choice and store it in a variable. So let's declare a variable called choice or operation or any variable, any name we like. It has to be descriptive, of course. Now console.readLine to accept the provided option, and since we expect integer value, we have to parse the string we read to an integer. Now I have the option, so all I need to do is make a conditional call. So I'll use conditional statement if, to simplify things, if choice equal to 1, I'll use addition function, else if choice equal to 2, I'll use subtraction function. So let's copy paste this else if, and finally we'll have else. So 3, 4. Now in case of 1, which means addition, so let's see our addition function. It requires 2 parameters, right? So if we want to use this function, we have to provide 2 values to it, otherwise we can't use this function. So first we have to accept 2 variables here. Before calling addition function, we have to accept 2 values. Then now I can call the function. The function name is addition, right? Let's copy this. Since C# is case sensitive, you have to be careful about its name. Now I need addition function, but right now it's not giving me or addition is not known. Why? Okay, addition function requires first and second parameters, so we have to provide that. So just to be clear, we can give this any name we like. It doesn't have to be the same as the parameter names of the function. So here what I will do is first means x, y means second. So this is my function. Now there is one more thing. Since our main function is static, we have to make sure all our functions are static. Why? We'll see it in our object-oriented session. So don't worry about it. Just make all the functions static. Now we called addition function. How do we know the result? How am I going to get the result after adding two numbers? What addition function does is it returns an integer value, the result of the sum of two given numbers, right? So if the value is being returned, then I can accept the returned value and show it to the user, which means I'll have integer variable called z and console.writeLine, and I'll show the variable z, which means the function only does the logic, the internal processing. It accepts two parameters, does what's expected to do, and returns the result. So I provided the function with two parameters, and after the calculation is over, I accepted the result and showed the result to the user. Let's see how I can access the second function. The second function is subtraction. It takes two parameters but nothing to return. Let's see how to apply that. If it takes two parameters, then I have to accept two parameters. Then subtraction function takes x and y. And we are done. I'm not going to write int something here. Why? It says cannot implicitly convert type void to int. Means the function subtraction as a return type is void, which means it's not returning anything. If it's not returning anything, then I'm not going to accept anything from that function. So I can't do this. The function takes two inputs, did the calculation, and present the output itself, like we did in subtraction. After subtracting the values, it shows the result here by itself. So I'm not supposed to do anything like here. So that's it. Now when we go to the third option means multiplication. Let's see our multiplication function. What does it do? It didn't accept any inputs, so I'm not supposed to provide anything, which means the function itself collects the required data. After getting the data, it does the operation and it returns the result. So in choice 3, what I will do is just call the function multiplication, no input, just empty bracket, but multiplication function returns a value. So I can do this. I can accept the returned value and show it to the user. That's it. Now let's go for the last option. The last option is division function. Now division function takes nothing, returns nothing. Okay, it takes or it collects the required result, the required value by itself. After processing, it returns or it presents the data itself. So if choice is 4, all I'm supposed to do is call the function, and that's it. I'm not supposed to give it anything, and I'm not going to accept anything from it because it doesn't return anything. So we are done. Now here we have to provide the user that if the choice is not 1, 2, 3 or 4, then we have to state invalid choice. Now our application is done. Let's see. Okay, after this, let's write console.readLine to make sure it pauses. Now let's run our application. Okay, so it starts by showing the options. Now when I enter 1 and press enter, the addition function starts to work. Okay, so let's enter two values. So the result is 8. Okay, let's rerun our application and try it one more time. Let's try the fourth one, division. So it's all the same. As an end user, as the user of our system, our user doesn't experience anything. I mean, doesn't feel the change. That's how we do our functions. Okay, they both all our operations does exactly the same, but internally in our code we have demonstrated 4 different type of functions. Which one to use when is about you. You can use each function type for your need whenever you need it. Just be wise to pick, or be wise in your selection. Okay, so this is all about functions. We'll see a little more about functions like access modifiers, and like I said before, about what's the static in our object-oriented class. So this is what function is about. I hope it's clear. If you have any questions, unclear points, please leave us a comment in comment section below. So thank you very much for watching our video, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube video channel for future video notifications. Thank you very much again.